Alright, thank you.
Jjin showed his assertive attitude during the concert for these members, so much so that he was so under scrutiny that he even made the members immediately obey. Did this attitude actually help RM, who was exhausted after the concert? The moment when Jjin BTS was assertive and streetwise towards the members was where everyone witnessed how Jjin truly demonstrated this attitude. At the height of a roaring stadium that had yet to settle, the concert, now nearing the 2-hour mark, finally reached its peak. The closing song, Into the Sun, echoed with deep emotion, symbolizing the long journey they had just shared with their fans. The energy that had burned so intensely from the beginning slowly gave way to visible exhaustion. The members' breathing grew heavier, their steps slightly slower, and the expressions that once radiated excitement now carried a sense of relief at having successfully completed the performance. At the peak of a roaring stadium filled with emotion, the final notes of Into the Sun echoed across the venue, marking the end of a concert that had lasted nearly 2.5 hours. It wasn't just any concert, it was part of the historic return of BTS through their massive Arirang World Tour, which officially kicked off with 3 consecutive sold-out shows at Goyang Stadium starting April 9, 2026. In moments like this, everything usually runs on autopilot, a reflex they've repeated countless times over the years. But that night felt slightly different. After the final song ended, several members appeared ready to leave the stage immediately, following the pattern from the first and second nights. The exhaustion they felt was impossible to hide, especially for RM, who as the leader is usually responsible for delivering the closing remarks. This time, it was clear he had run out of energy, as if his body was asking for rest sooner than usual. This 3-day concert wasn't just another tour stop, it was a symbol of reunion. After nearly 4 years of hiatus due to mandatory military service, all 7 members, RM, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook, stood together again on stage, performing as a complete group for the first time in years. This is where a moment that many might not have noticed turned into something deeply meaningful. The energy throughout the concert was explosive, emotional, and deeply significant. Fans filled the stadium despite the rain, proving just how powerful the connection between BTS and ARMY still is. The performance stretched over approximately 2.5 hours, featuring a powerful setlist from their latest album, Arianga, along with iconic hits that defined their global success. Jin, who has long been known for his warm and sometimes playful personality, suddenly revealed a different side of himself, a side that was firm, alert, and deeply aware of responsibility. Without creating tension, he began to take control of the situation in a way that was subtle yet unmistakably clear. With a gentle tone, he signaled to the other members that there was still one thing left undone. But as grand as the production was, with a 360-degree stage and global anticipation, the most unforgettable moment didn't come from the choreography or visuals, but from a subtle human interaction at the very end of the concert. At first, the gesture was simple, a wave of his hand toward the members who had already begun walking backstage. One of them was Jungkook, who was almost completely out of sight. But when the signal wasn't immediately noticed, Jin didn't hesitate to take the next step. He called Jungkook through the microphone, making sure the message was clearly delivered. As the final song ended, exhaustion became impossible to hide. One by one, the members began shifting their focus toward leaving the stage. This wasn't unusual. After such an intense performance, their bodies were clearly drained, especially for RM, who as the leader typically handles the closing speech and final bow. The fatigue was evident. For a brief moment, it felt like something important might be skipped. This moment became the point where the public truly saw how Jjin was not just acting as an ordinary member, but as someone who deeply understood the team's dynamics. And that's when everything changed. Calm yet firm, he directed all the members to return, gather, and give a proper farewell. There was no harsh commanding tone, no excessive pressure, just clarity in his actions. And most interestingly, every member immediately responded. They returned to their positions, regrouped, and performed the closing bow, a gesture that has long been a defining identity of BTS. Jjin stepped forward, not dramatically, not forcefully, but with a quiet authority that immediately shifted the flow of the moment. Behind that simple moment lay a much deeper meaning. Known often for his humor and lighthearted personality, Jjin revealed a completely different side of himself that night. He became observant, decisive, and unexpectedly firm. While maintaining a gentle tone, he signaled to the members that they weren't done yet, that there was still one final responsibility they needed to fulfill. What Jjin did wasn't merely about reminding them of a routine. He was, in a way, protecting the soul of their performance, the value BTS has always upheld in honoring their fans. The final bow is not just a formality, but a sincere expression of gratitude to ARMY, who had been there, giving their energy throughout the concert. At first, it was just a gesture, a wave of his hand toward the members who had already started heading backstage. But when that wasn't enough, he didn't hesitate. More importantly, what Jjin did in that moment truly helped RM. He called out. As the leader, RM usually holds that responsibility. But in a state of extreme exhaustion, even a leader can lose focus for a brief moment. This is where Jin's role as the eldest member became crucial. He read the situation quickly, understood RM's condition, and stepped in without hesitation, not to replace him, but to support him. Through the microphone, Jjin specifically called Jungkook back, ensuring that everyone returned to the stage. It was a small action, but incredibly powerful. In that moment, the audience witnessed something rare, Jjin taking control of the situation with clarity and purpose. This is a form of teamwork that is rarely seen explicitly on camera. And the response? Immediate. Every member followed. No hesitation, no confusion, just trust. The relationship between Jjin and RM in that moment reflected a strong balance, one as the leader, the other as the eldest. They didn't take over each other's roles. They complemented one another when it mattered most. And it is precisely in moments like this that the true strength of a team becomes visible. Jjin then guided them to do what could have easily been forgotten in that moment of exhaustion, the final farewell greeting and the iconic 90-degree bow, a gesture BTS has consistently upheld throughout their career as a symbol of gratitude and respect toward their fans. If Jjin hadn't done that, many fans might have questioned it. Why didn't BTS give their usual farewell? Did they forget? Has something changed? Small details like this can quickly become major discussions among ARMY. This wasn't just about routine. This was about identity. But Jjin made sure that didn't happen. He preserved BTS's image and tradition until the very last second of the concert, a small decision with a big impact, not just for that night, but for how BTS is remembered by their fans. If that moment had been skipped, it might have raised questions among fans. BTS, known for their humility and deep connection with ARMY, ending a concert without a proper farewell would have felt incomplete, almost out of character. This moment also reminded many people of BTS's habits at major events, including appearances at the Golden Disc Awards, where they always show deep respect to fans through a full bow, a gesture that may seem simple, but carries profound emotional meaning for ARMY. But Jjin prevented that. In the end, what Jjin did that night wasn't something dramatic or staged. Precisely because of its simplicity, The moment felt so real, a reflection of professionalism, care, and a deep sense of responsibility that has long been embedded within them. More importantly, he supported RM in a way that didn't undermine his leadership, but instead strengthened it. RM, clearly exhausted, momentarily stepped back, and Jin naturally stepped in, not to replace him, but to protect the team and uphold their standard. And as the stage lights slowly dimmed, one thing became undeniably clear, that behind every grand BTS performance lies a quiet yet incredibly strong teamwork. And that night, Jin proved that sometimes being firm at the right moment is the most sincere form of care. This moment perfectly illustrated the balance within BTS, RM as the leader, Jin as the eldest. Two roles, different responsibilities, but in that moment, they worked as one.
구독, 좋아요, 알림 설정. 야, so fun. 오케이, 바이바이.